Hello, everyone, and hi, Henry. Good to have you.
Hi, Tinko. Good to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Today, Henry and I will dive a little bit deeper into exploring and how good practices and interesting aspects of exporting cultural traditions, cultural products, and within the context of traditional music. Please do make sure that you check out the other panels on traditional music and cultural export just as well. And now to kickstart this interview, Henry, could you please tell us a bit about yourself and H Media?
Yes. Hi, everybody. My name is Henri Lessing. As Tinko said, I used to found, I'm co-founder of H Media, Phoenix Media, together with my business partner, Jennifer Feaster. We are based in Amsterdam, but we are a global company. So what it means is that we represent content and channels and personalities around the world. Because the world is connected, because the media is connected, and because the message is being transmitted everywhere and received everywhere. So seems logical, but it's important that we are in a position that we are able to make contact with the whole world. What we do, we are a distribution company on one hand, and on the other hand, apart from distributing and protecting content and your own creations in video or in music or in other IPs, for instance, films, documentaries, or other content. As soon as we have done that job of protecting and distributing, our aim is to grow results. And I think that's an important part of it, because distribution is very, very important. Protecting the content and the rights is important. But when that is done, it's important to look at what can we do to gain more traction with the platforms around the world. And platforms like TikTok or Spotify or Deezer or YouTube. We distribute to these platforms, but our specialization is YouTube. So YouTube as a platform, as a fan engagement platform, as a platform where you can connect with a community, create a community and connect with your own community.
Thank you. And that's a good point you mentioned there about community. Notoriously in Asia and in China in particular, video is an important part of the release cycle. Whether it's a music video, it usually goes together with a video as part of the release, audio release. Whether it's influencer on Chinese social media, video is quite important. Visuals are quite important. Aesthetics are quite important. So, from your experience and bringing this conversation towards more export of cultural products. Off record, when we were speaking yesterday, you expressed your fascination and interest in China's traditions, China's thousands of years of history. So, how do you think, from your perspective, what advice you can give to creators in China, whether it's video creators, music creators, or rights holders of such content, when they are looking to export their content overseas?
Thank you for this question. Indeed, I'm I'm a fan of what I experience here and of all these creations that I could see with my own eyes, creators that I talked with yesterday. And China has an ancient and a great culture, an own culture, which is so much engrounded in it's something. It's the world must know more for of this culture. So what I think is, if with authenticity, creators can make content that is matching and is coming from this base, you create something that is unique in the world. So your authenticity, your being yourself, and bringing and transmitting that outside China, for me, is the key, because you have something that nobody has. It's your own culture. And I think that in a world where technology is dominating and often surpassing the personality or the human part or the creation, that is something human. It's technology. If we use technology to help making better products, okay, but it starts from who we are and where we come from. And if we're able to create content from there, we create authentic content that is able to transmit what we want and what we are. And often I see that content is made more from a technological way of, okay, we have this tool, we use this tool, and we do something. We do something to have success, to gain attention, instead of, what is my story? What is my talent? How can I, where do I come from? What do I want my audience to hear and to experience? I think that's the great value that you can bring in the world. With a culture like China being conscious of what you have and then create the right product, I think it's the most important thing. And then, of course, from there, when you have the right content, you have to bring it outside. To do that, you need right partners, the right partners for distribution, and then also the right partners that understand how your specific content can match a certain target. And I think there are many ways to go outside, starting, for instance, the Chinese outside China. There are millions of people that love to not consume is a wrong word, but you understand what I mean, to consume your content, and then from there also bring your content to other cultures. And to do that, you need partners that know how to find their target, the right target, how to find a match, and how to bring that. And so distribution, one thing, is the courier. When the package is open, okay, depending from which platform it is, it could be Spotify, for instance. How are you going to playlisting or to creating something that is matching what you want to bring, so that they find you or it's proposed to the right audience. And then if we talk about YouTube, which is perhaps the most complex platform, that's very interesting, because there every target is represented on YouTube. YouTube is the most diverse platform in the world. It's a platform where everybody is represented. We as an age are particularly focusing on that, because if you know the language of YouTube, you know how the you understand the algorithm, You can find a target for the content, make the match, and make sure that there is a connection between your content and the right target.
Thanks. Just to follow up on a few things you mentioned there, keywords, authenticity, consumer, consuming content, and now the YouTube language. So speaking the YouTube language, what practical advices do you think you can we can discuss and we can look at for content creators to be able to strike that balance between authenticity, which is extremely important, maintaining that story that you build as part of your authentic image, and then the commercial exploitation of the content that is created?
Yes, it starts always with your story. So if it's your story, you can build from that story, and that's your story is authentic because it's your story. And then is knowing how to what the tricks are to work on a platform and to reach your audience. And there are many. You have the data side of it, the analysis and the optimization of content and channel. YouTube is the second search machine in the world, second after Google. So if you search on Google, you find probably something on YouTube. So SEO is very important, is understanding how to have the, how to optimize the content and channels is the most important thing. Then we talk about the content. Also, the content has a sort of rule. For every type of platform, you need to make content that is made for that platform. I mean, if you make something vertical for TikTok, perhaps, or we have now shorts on YouTube, which is fantastic, is booming, and is the TikTok version for YouTube, but it's also helping and talking, communicating with the long form content. So you have two forms on YouTube, which is vertical, and the long form, which is the horizontal, do I say it right, on YouTube, and together they form, if you are able to optimize these two forms, you get a good results from the algorithm, and then you can monetize your content on YouTube. Content is also important. How long how do you do, what do you do with the intro, what do you do with the outro? So there are rules to make the right content on YouTube. It's not that you make a video like you do it on TV or for another medium. So you have to know how to do that. Also in that, we have a great team that is supporting our partners, our creators, from video creators and vloggers and influencers to musicians, producers, labels, and artists. And if we talk about artists, you talked about video clips, and I think that is important, but when you are on YouTube, you have to be consistent, you have an audience, and you have the relation with the audience. If you do only a video clip, it's okay, but if you do a release every month or every 2 months, it's not easy to make connection with your audience. Sorry
to interrupt. So would you reckon on YouTube in particular, because we are talking about YouTube at the moment, you reckon it's better off to release more regularly, more often? And when you do this, is that true?
I think on YouTube, it's the release, you create your own place, your destination for your brand and for your content and for your channel. That means that you have a relation with your fans, and that means that your fans expect something from you because on a regular basis. So you have to organize that. If you're making a video clip and you don't make it every day, perhaps you could find another way to tell your story or to get in touch with your fans. If you're not, because you can't expect from every artist that he becomes a vlogger or a creator, I think that's not good, because if an artist is an artist, he has his own way of being, his mystery, and so if his way is to make only music, perhaps then it can match with channels that are matching his message. So instead of having his successful great channel, he could have successful great content that is inserted or combined with other content in certain formats or themes that are matching his way of being.
Okay, so the way I understand this is first you need to understand. First, you need to realize what are you able to do. What is your natural, organic behavior online? Whether you are a vlogger who can run a couple of hours every day, or you're someone who will be able to create content maybe once a week, or maybe once a month, or twice a month, and then you develop a strategy around that way of creating content so that that content can be then utilized and used in terms of furthering your wider business or wider artistic agenda. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
So today we have many creators here, and from China, and we had this conversation also before. I think that there is a big opportunity to bring your content outside China, and for every type of content there is a target group, and I think it's very exciting to find out and to start working on that, and yeah, to open the really authenticity from China and from Chinese creators to the rest of the world.
Yes, thank you for circling back on the cultural aspect of all of this. In closing, what do you think? Sorry, let's not. Everybody's now predicting what's the future of this, what's the future of that, what's the future of the industry, and I think for this IMX edition, I'm asking questions that are: what do you hope to? What do you want to see the future in maybe 5 years of content being exported, cultural traditions, cultural products being exported? What are your hopes? What do you want to see, rather than what you predict it's going to be?
Yeah, we discussed it also yesterday. Personally, my biggest aim is to really stand for human creativity and power. So we are in an era where there is technology that is with AI, which is exponentially growing. It has already a very large impact on everything, and it will have more. So I think it's important to be aware that everything that a computer does, it does better. And if it grows exponentially, it will do it better and better and better. Everything that we as human can do at best, we do better than a computer. So let's focus on what we can do at best and use technology to help us to bring our content or our creativity, our content that comes from our human resources outside. So for me, in 5 years from now, it would be great if we are more connected with our talent, and we are able to use technology as a tool and not being the algorithm. I mean, we know there are algorithms, but let's keep track on that and let's be more conscious of what is happening instead of giving it all away and thinking that that will do the job. Let us do the job and let the algorithm help to reach, but let's understand also the algorithm. As soon as we don't understand it, it's dangerous. And we are already, so it's a very controversial thing, but yeah, that's the danger of losing track.
Henri, it's been absolute pleasure speaking with you, talking about exporting traditions and exporting culture. And I think we definitely should have you again next year. And we should talk at length about everything we discussed now, because clearly there's going to be lots of things to talk about.
Yeah, Tinko. If you,
Of course.
There's one thing. If we talk about AI, Chinese language, for instance, is a language that is not talked everywhere. So AI can help, for instance, with translations. If you make content for outside, for, yeah, exactly what is happening here. So making content and be also, when you make the content, make it also with the idea that other cultures are going to experience that, and how you communicate in order that they understand you. For instance, language or other uses. Being from the beginning already thinking, how can I reach my target? And yeah, so we can use AI for that. It's very helpful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's a question. Yes. Sorry, say it. I'll repeat it afterwards.
The question is about, yes, you mentioned about the language, because in terms of the traditional music, language is very, very important in the past, because it's the roots of the culture, where it grows. But right now, it seems that the Babel Tower will not exist anymore in terms of the translation, and the barrier goes away. And we are, on YouTube or TikTok, we are creating some destination that people may expect to visit. What do you think for this traditional music and culture? What kind of a destination do you suggest that we create? Like, what kind of scenario that we need to?
What you mean is what kind of scenario there is for the Chinese culture, heritage, and ancient culture, how you translate it to new. Every product, everything that is made because something before was created. So if you are able to transform what you already have, that is there, in a modern way, in the language of today, and I'm not talking about the speaking language, but the communication language, the creation language, everything is a product of something before, and it's an evolution of something. So knowing your value is the most important thing, and if you know that, you can create from that, and then you have an authentic creation. Doing something to do it because, I mean, it's something plastic. If you are connected with your engine, with where you come from, that's who you are, and that's what differentiates you from me. I was born in Italy, you were born here, and I have my story, and what I say now, and what I think now, what I feel now, what I create now, is because I had what I had, and you have your story, and if you are able to translate it in a content or in your way of communicating, you create something unique. And it sounds very simple, but we often don't do that. We often do something to have success or to gain traction instead of doing something because we are who we are and being connected with your talent. And I think because of this big culture, the world deserve to know more, know more of your culture and of your product. Yeah.
Thanks. Any other questions? Or should I go for another attempt at closing this conversation? I love
Sorry,
it.
Tinko.
No. It's really interesting. And we can talk. I know we just started talking about perception and how the human brain perceives reality. And if we dive into the neuroscience of that, and then start looking into how people perceive what they experience based on their prior experiences and the knowledge, their memories. Now we are going deep into the weeds, and I think we have no time for doing this today. So, any last words?
I'm very glad to discover what I discovered these days here in Shanghai, and very nice people that I met, and I hope to come back next year. Thank you for inviting me here.
Likewise, thank you for joining us, and thanks everyone for being here today. Thank you.